Greetings everyone! Today I'm going to educate you on the devastation that natural disasters cause in our world today. I've personally volunteered with Samaritan's Purse to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey in 2017 that hit Texas. Most recently, I was in North Carolina to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Michael that caused over 50 casualties and left hundreds of people homeless. The Bible teaches us that natural disasters have been happening since the beginning of time. We learn through scripture that they will continue to get worse and they will happen until Christ's return. Through my personal testimony of volunteering with Samaritan's Purse and the data I've collected for you on natural disasters, my hope is that you will be inspired to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ when a natural disaster strikes, and that you act by getting involved. First, I want to talk about what is a natural disaster. Merriam-Webster says the definition of a natural disaster is a sudden and terrible event in nature, such as a hurricane, tornado, or flood that usually results in serious damage and many deaths. Mind you, many deaths. How does this affect us? BasicPlanet.com states that all natural disasters cause loss in some way. Depending on the severity, lives can be lost in any number of disasters. Falling buildings from trees, freezing to death, being washed away, or heat stroke are just some of the deadly effects. Some disasters cause more loss of life than others. The population density affects the death count as well. Then there is loss of property, which affects people's living quarters, transportation, livelihood, and means to live. Basic Planet also states that natural disasters that really affect people worldwide tend to become more intense as the years go on. Frequency of earthquakes, megastorms, and heat waves have gone up tremendously in the last few decades. Heavy population in areas that get hit by floods, cyclones, and hurricanes has meant that more lives are lost. I want to share a small video I put together with you guys of my trips to Texas and my trip to North Carolina while I was volunteering with Samaritan's Purse. I can tell you every person and homeowner that I met and came in contact with came with a tremendous amount of pain. These people lost everything. Some were homeless, most of them were homeless actually, and they were waiting to rebuild their homes. They were staying with friends, staying in shelters, or just staying. Some of them had RVs parked outside their house, and they basically were waiting for aid. These people didn't have flood insurance, and they weren't prepared. So organizations like Samaritan's Purse came in and gave hope. One man that I met in Texas was a cop. I took my niece with me on that trip in 2017. It was quite an experience. You'll see pictures of the video I'm about to show you of the cop's belongings, of him and his family. He had 4 children, a wife, and 2 dogs. During the time that we spent with him at his home, we went through his belongings and watched his wife cry as she saw her wedding gown completely destroyed, and so we had to throw it away. The children told us stories about how they had to get emergency rescue by boat. They were sitting on the top of their roofs. Their house was completely underwater. So there's 4 kids, 2 adults, 2 dogs, and all they have is the clothes on their back, and they're waiting to be rescued. So that was a pretty horrendous story coming from children as we're going through their clothes and their toys, and they're being shoveled to the side of the road because they can no longer use them. The cop, the father of the family, he also broke down crying with us and shared the story of him losing his best friend, his fellow police officer who was on duty and was on his way to a rescue, and he got swept under a bridge by a current and drowned. So while we were there, we prayed with these people, we cried with these people, and we rebuilt with these people. We gave them hope. They were vulnerable, broken, and these people are just left hopeless. So let's get started and watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. And just remember that these are real people. They lost everything. So here we go.
Holy. We need shovels.
No, this is the house they were in today.
Shovel?
This is Michelle. We are going to gut this entire house today.
All of this.
The entire house. We just met the homeowner. Very, very sweet lady. So she took everything else. This is what is left of her home.
Everything.
We're about 2 blocks away from the church that I'm staying at. And it's unbelievably sad. And the homeowner just left. She had to go to work. Told that there's possums in here. So we'll be ripping all these walls out, the ceiling out, and gutting it. So this is one room. This is the bathroom. You guys can see. See how it's so dark in here. But this house was completely flooded. This is the bedroom. This will be a little scary. So luckily we've got a crew of about 15 people today on this one. We're just thinking out here. Hold on. Okay. Now you can. This is in North Carolina. So is the last one. I'm good. Can you breathe?
I can brush it a little bit.
These are some
rooster, a duck,
animals
and chicken
that survived 2 hurricanes.
that survived Hurricane Florence.
These houses that you see were completely underwater. This is in Texas with my niece. She actually gave her life to Christ when we went out to Texas and volunteered with Samaritan's Purse. So that's the end of that. I hope that you got to
Greetings, everyone.
experience God's goodness in that video. So what does God say about natural disasters? In Mark 13, 7-9 ESV, Jesus says, "And when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will be famines. These are but the beginning of the birth pain." So God's telling us that all of these natural disasters must happen in order for Jesus' coming to happen. 2 Corinthians 5:1 ESV says, "For we know that if the tent that is our earthly home is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in heavens." Matthew 23:11-12 ESV says, "The greatest among you shall be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." And this is his command, that we believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another, just as he commanded us. 1 John 3:23 ESV. In conclusion, the Bible tells us that since the beginning of time and until the end of time, natural disasters are happening all around us. Through my personal testimony, volunteering with Samaritan's Purse, and the data I've collected for you on natural disasters, I hope that you have been inspired to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and you get involved with a great organization such as Samaritan's Purse that I can personally vouch for, and I hope that you can act in any way that you can. If you can't volunteer physically, I encourage you to make a donation. Samaritan's Purse is a natural disaster response team that deploys all over the world, spreading the love of Jesus everywhere they go. What are you waiting for? You can check them out at samaritanspurse.org. Thank you for listening. God bless.